Good morning and happy day 49. And I wanted to talk about which way you go about change, challenges, or growth. And the easy way is certainly not always the best way. Now, to Libby's point, this doesn't just apply to leaders. This can apply to parents, to church leaders, you name it. At the end of the day, which way do you go about your growth and your change? This topic came to me when I was visiting with my brother, and he was buying a new home. And we realized that every home that he or I had ever bought, we had had built, or it was brand new and never had anybody living in it. And we talked about what that meant, but it reminded me of the 90s when I was in the company and we're opening a lot of stores. Well, as you were going from one store to another, what we would do is we would have the teams for the next store opening training in the one that we just opened. Well, we had been training in this one store where I then transferred to open another store, but the training team, that team that I was with originally, just didn't care for me. They didn't like me. There wasn't any sort of rapport. Flash forward a couple months, and now they want me to go back and manage that very store. Well, my first response was, no problem. I already have enough people in my pipeline. I can restaff that store. They're not performing. They don't need to be there. They're not the right people. Well, ultimately, the supervisor I had gave me one of the greatest lessons that I could learn, and that was, you're not firing anybody. If they don't like you or they didn't like you, find a way to inspire them and earn their respect. Just because a store is not performing doesn't mean they're not great people. They just might need a great leader. So I transferred into that environment, certainly begrudgingly against not wanting to work with the team that was there. And guess what? We did. We turned that team around. I managed to lead them in a way that earned their respect and ultimately helped each one of them really grow and develop and make great money. Now, the trick with this is that they also had to recognize that they had more potential. They had to reach just beyond what they believed their grasp was. Because if not, you couldn't be on my team, right? You had to be self-accountable. You had to realize you weren't performing. That's still on you, regardless of the leader you had. So how do you change your performance? And I'll be by your side to do it. So when you go about change, do you take the easy way? And do you think that's the best way? Sometimes those hardest lessons can bring the greatest outcome. I appreciate it, guys. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.